My name is Willa Nash. I'm 25 years old. I'm a data analyst. My entire job is looking at messy spreadsheets and finding the truth hidden in the numbers. I find the glitches. I find the errors. I find the patterns that don't belong. I thought I was good at it. Turns out I was living inside the biggest error of my life, and I didn't see it until I was 23. Here is a fact. According to the United States government, I am a successful entrepreneur. I grossed over $200,000 a year. I own a fleet of bounce houses, cotton candy machines, and folding chairs. I filed 7 years of tax returns. I have a credit score of 387. Here is another fact. I have never owned a business. I have never filed a tax return. I have never touched a credit card. And I sure as hell never bought a single bounce house. So how does a girl who pays cash for everything suddenly owe $341,000? It started on a Tuesday, March 12th. I was 23, fresh out of Ohio State, working my first real job in Columbus. I found an apartment. It was a dump, honestly. Second floor, narrow kitchen, probably mice in the walls. But it was mine. Or it was supposed to be. I handed over the application fee, $50. I felt like a grown-up. 3 days later, the property manager called. "Miss Nash, we have an issue. Your application is denied." I laughed. I literally laughed. What? Why? I make 48 grand a year. The rent is 1,100. The math works. There was a pause. The kind of pause where you know the guy on the other end feels bad for you. It's not the income. It's look, just pull your credit report. I think you'll find it's informative. Informative. That's the word he used. I hung up and Googled annualcreditreport.com. I typed in my name, willanash.social security number. Date of birth. I hit enter. I'm going to tell you what it feels like to watch your life get deleted in real time. The screen loaded. Equifax. Friday 7 pages. 47 pages. My name, my address, no, not my address. Their address. 847, Burwood Lane, Millbury, Ohio. My parents' house. Account after account. A Chase credit card opened in 2015. A Capital One card. A business line of credit. A loan for a 2019 Chevy Tahoe, utility bills. Civil judgments. Collection agencies screaming for money. Total outstanding debt. 34127. I scrolled to the top. The oldest account opened September 18th, 2014. I did the math in my head, 2014. I was 14, I was in 9th grade. I was wearing braces and playing on the math team. I looked at the birth year on the application. 998. They had changed my birth year. Made me 4 years older so I'd qualify for credit. A 14-year-old girl with a perfect credit history and a $70,000 a year business. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just got cold. That's the weird part. Your body goes into shock. I sat on the floor of my friend Cass's apartment. I was crashing on her couch because I couldn't afford a place yet, and I read every single page. My hands were shaking so bad I had to put the laptop down. There was a business name on 9 of the entries. Nash Event Rentals, LLC. I know that name. I've heard that name my whole life. I picked up my phone. My fingers felt like sausages. I called my mom. "Hey, honey," she chirped. "Mom," I said. My voice sounded like it belonged to a stranger. "Did you open a business in my name?" Silence. Just the sound of her breathing. Then she laughed. Not a nervous laugh, a real laugh. Like I'd just told a hilarious joke. "Oh, Willa. Family shares everything. Your dad lost his job. We needed a fresh start. It was just paperwork." Just paperwork. $340,000 is just paperwork. "Mom, there's a car loan. There's credit cards. I can't even rent an apartment. My credit score is 387. "We were going to fix it," she said. Things got tight. We'll figure it out." "When? When were you going to figure it out? I'm 23. That's when my dad got on the phone. "Carl Nash." The man of the house. Willa, don't blow this out of proportion. We kept this family together. You need to be grateful. Grateful. I hung up. I looked at the 47 pages again. Nash Event Rentals, LLC. Registered agent Willa R. Nash. Filed on September 18th. I closed my eyes. September 18th. That's my birthday. On my 14th birthday, my mom bought a grocery store cake with pink frosting. My dad grilled burgers. I blew out the candles and wished for a new laptop because mine was broken. While I was blowing out those candles, my mother was sitting at a computer, typing my social security number into a state database to steal my life. You know the saying, family shares everything? I heard that my whole childhood. Willa, we can't pay for your car, family shares everything. Willa, we can't help with college, family shares everything. I thought it meant we all sacrifice. I thought it meant we're a team. I worked 3 jobs in college. Coffee shop, library, data entry. I counted nickels for textbooks. I ate ramen. My brother Todd, he got a brand new Honda Civic. He got his full tuition paid at Bowling Green. He got braces. They weren't sharing everything. They were taking my share and giving it to him. I spent the next 48 hours in a fugue state. I didn't sleep. I just worked. Because I'm a data analyst, and when the world explodes, you do what you know. I pulled the Ohio Secretary of State records. There it is. The LLC dissolved 4 years ago, but the debt is still alive. It's a zombie debt. I cross-referenced the addresses. Every single delinquent notice went to 1847 Burwood Lane. I found the car loan, 2019. Chevy Tahoe, $28,000. I searched the BMV database. The Tahoe is registered to Diane L. Nash. My mother drives my debt. She drives it to the grocery store. She drives it to church. She parks it in the handicap spot. I called my brother Todd. Did you know? I asked. Know what? About the LLC. About the money. Long silence. I knew Mom used your name, he said quietly. She said your credit was clean, and you didn't need it. I didn't know it was this bad, Willa. I swear. You went to college on my money, Todd. $32,000. That was my money. You were driving around in a car bought with my social security number while I was taking the bus. That's not fair, he snapped. We were struggling. I was 14, I whispered. I was a kid. He hung up. I sat there in the dark. I had the what. I had the how much. But I didn't have the smoking gun. I didn't have the piece of paper with her signature on it. And I knew legally, if I accused my mother of this, she'd deny it. She'd say I did it. She'd say I'm crazy. She'd say family shares everything. I needed proof, not digital proof, physical proof. I needed to go home. I waited until Saturday. I told them I was coming for a visit. Just miss you guys. I lied through my teeth. They made pot roast. My dad watched the game. They had new patio furniture, a huge sectional, a big screen TV. They were living high on the hog. My hog. Sunday morning they went to the grocery store, like clockwork. 6 a.m. I walked into the garage. My dad has a metal filing cabinet. Top drawer is junk. Bottom drawer is important. I pulled it open. Hanging folders, taxes, house, cars, and there in the back a manila envelope. Willa. My hands were shaking again. I dumped it out. The LLC filing articles of organization. Registered agent Willa R. Nash. Member Willa R. Nash. And at the bottom the signature line. It wasn't my handwriting. It was a looping cursive scrawl, a W that curled at the end. My mother's W and right next to it a notary stamp. Linda Pewitt. Notary Public, Aunt Linda. My mom's best friend, the woman who hugged me at graduation. The woman who brought potato salad to every barbecue. She notarized a forged signature for a business owned by a 14-year-old girl. I took out my phone. I took pictures of every page. I put the papers back exactly how I found them. I walked back inside. My mom was unpacking groceries. "You okay, honey?" "You look pale," she said. "Just tired, Mom," I said. "Work is crazy." I drove back to Columbus that night. I didn't say goodbye to my dad. He was asleep in his recliner. I got back to Cass's apartment at 11 p.m. I sat on the air mattress. I pulled up the photos on my laptop. The signature. The date. September 18th. My birthday. The receipt for the grocery store cake was still in the file. Dated the same day. I didn't cry. I opened a new tab. I Googled FBI Cleveland Field Office. Then I Googled Identity Theft Attorney Columbus. They thought I was a kid. They thought I was a ghost tenant in my own life. But ghosts can't sue you, and I'm not a ghost anymore. I'm the nightmare you created. I didn't sleep that night. Not a wink. I sat on Cass's air mattress, the photos of the forged documents glowing on my laptop screen, and I made a list. People think revenge is emotional. They think it's screaming and throwing plates. They're wrong. Revenge is a project plan. Revenge is a Gantt chart. Phase 1. Legal fortification. Phase 2. Administrative destruction. Phase 3. Nuclear option. Monday morning. I didn't go to my desk at the insurance company. I went to the Franklin County Legal Aid Office. I sat across from Rebecca Holt. She was a woman who looked like she'd been carved out of granite, gray hair, reading glasses on a chain zero, patience for nonsense. I didn't cry. I didn't stammer. I slid the 47-page credit report across her desk. I showed her the photos from my dad's filing cabinet. She read. She didn't sigh. She didn't gasp. She just read. For 9 minutes. Then she took off her glasses. "This is bad, Willa. This is really bad." "I know," I said. "How do I fix it?" "You don't fix it. You burn it down." She leaned forward. "Here's the problem. The credit bureaus are lazy. They see a debt, they see a name, and SSN, they assume it's real. To kill it, you have to prove it's fake. And to prove it's fake, you have to name the person who faked it." My stomach dropped. "You mean I have to say my mom did it? I mean you have to sign a sworn statement that your mother committed a felony against you. There is no other way. If you don't name her, this debt follows you to the grave. If you do name her well." She shrugged. "Welcome to the war." I picked up the pen. My hand didn't shake. Let's do it. That week, I lived a double life. At the office, I was Willa the data analyst. I built pivot tables. I calculated risk ratios. I smiled at my boss. At night, I was Willa the executioner. I filed the FTC identity theft affidavit.pdf, filled out, saved, submitted. I walked into the Columbus Division of Police. I sat in a plastic chair for 3 hours. I gave a statement to a detective who looked bored. "Mom stole your identity?" "Happens all the time. Fill this out." I called the Millbury Police Department. "Yeah, it happened there, but I live here now." "Okay, we'll send a supplemental report over." Then came the credit bureaus, .Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. I didn't just dispute account number 4492. I opened a spreadsheet. Column A, account number, column B, date opened, age 14. Column C, fraudulent signature, see attached. Column D, police report number. I uploaded 23 separate disputes, one by one. Click, click, every click was a hammer blow. Then I picked up the phone. I called my mother. It was Wednesday night. Dinner time. "Willa, I was just about to call you. We're having pot roast." "Don't hang up," I said. My voice was flat. Dead air. "Okay, is everything all right?" "I talked to a lawyer today, Mom, and the police." Silence. I could hear the TV in the background. A sitcom laugh track. What are you talking about?" I filed the reports. All of them. The LLC. The Tahoe. The credit cards. I named you. I named Dad. The line went so quiet I thought she'd dropped the phone. Then I heard a sharp intake of breath. You did what? Willa, you can't do that. You're my daughter. You're going to ruin us. You ruined me, I said. 9 years ago, on my birthday. I was drowning, she shrieked. The mask was off. Your father lost his job. We had nothing. I did it for this family. I kept a roof over your head. You kept a roof over your head with my name. I corrected her. And here's the best part. The IRS is involved now. Tax fraud, mail fraud. That's federal, Mom. That's not a slap on the wrist. That's prison. You ungrateful little bitch, she hissed. After everything I sacrificed. Don't, I snapped. Don't you dare say you sacrificed for me. You sacrificed me. I hung up. I didn't slam the phone. I just pressed the red button. Final. 2 days later, the world changed. I was at work staring at a mortality table when my cell buzzed. Blocked number. I answered in the stairwell. Is this Willa Nash? Yes. This is Special Agent Miriam Torres, FBI, Cleveland Field Office. My knees actually went weak. I sat down on the concrete step. Oh. We've been forwarded your FTC filing and the Columbus PD report. The tax fraud flags triggered a review. We're opening a federal investigation. Okay, I whispered. I need you to come in for an interview. Thursday. a.m. The FBI office in Cleveland is exactly like you see in movies. Gray, fluorescent, depressing. Agent Torres was terrifying. Sharp suit, no makeup, eyes like drills. She didn't waste time. Walk me through the LLC, she said. I did. Walk me through the car. I did. Did you ever see a dime of that money? No. I worked 3 jobs in college. I ate ramen. She stopped typing. She looked at me. Your brother went to Bowling Green, $32,000 tuition. Yes. Paid by the business. Yes. She slid a paper across the table. It was a bank statement. First National Bank account, belonging to Nash Event Rentals, LLC. Look at the withdrawals, she said. I looked. Sept 20, 2019, mortgage payment, $1,400. Sept 21, 2019, Kroger, $408. Sept 22, 2019, Target $215 OCT 1, 2019, Myrtle Beach Vacation Rentals, $2,200. This wasn't a business account, Willa. This was your mother's personal checking account. She used your social to get the loan, then used the loan to pay her mortgage and buy groceries. I felt sick. There's more, Torres said. Look at November 2021. I looked. Novi 4 withdrawal $4,900. Novi 5 withdrawal $4,800. Novi 6 withdrawal $4,700. What's that? Structuring, Torres said. It's a federal crime. You can't deposit or withdraw more than 10 grand in cash without the bank reporting it to the feds. So she did it in chunks. She's smart. She's also going to prison for it. I walked out of that building at noon. The sun was shining. I sat in my car, and I didn't move for 20 minutes. My mother wasn't just a thief. She was a criminal mastermind. And she was using my name as her get-out-of-jail-free card. The indictments came 6 months later. I was at Cass's eating pizza when Todd called. They're here, he choked out. Who? The FBI. They're at the house. They have guns, Willa. They have guns. I could hear my mother screaming in the background. It was her. She did this. She's a liar. Then my dad's voice low and shaky. Carl Nash, you're under arrest. Then Todd was back on the line. Are you happy? You psycho. You sent the FBI to our house. Mom is in handcuffs. Dad is in handcuffs. I hope you rot. He hung up. I put the phone down. I looked at Cass. They got them, I said. She didn't cheer. She just handed me a beer. Good. That night my phone blew up. Uncle Ray Blood doesn't do this to Blood. You're dead to me. Aunt Margaret. How could you? She's your mother. Forgive her. Cousin Sarah text. Hey, I pulled my credit report. There's a credit card on there. I don't know. Opened in 2018. Is this normal? I stared at Sarah's text. It wasn't just me. The pattern. I texted her back. Call Rebecca Holt. Now. For the first time in my life, my phone was silent from my parents. No. Good morning, sunshine. No. Did you eat? Just silence. And it was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. But the war wasn't over. The sentencing was coming. And my mother from the Millbury County Jail managed to get a letter out. It arrived a week before the trial. Handwriting I knew better than my own. Willa, I'm in a cell because of you. Your father is in a cell. Todd can't get a job. Linda's husband left her. You destroyed 4 lives. I hope your clean credit score is worth it. I hope you sleep well knowing you put your own mother in prison. I did what I had to do to survive. You did what you did out of spite. You're not the victim here, Willa. You're the villain. I read it 3 times. Then I took it to the kitchen. I lit the burner on the stove. I watched the corner curl. I watched the ink run. I watched my mother's excuses turn to ash. She thought I was the villain. Fine. Villains win. I didn't go to the sentencing. Rebecca Holt, my lawyer, called me 3 times. Willa, you should be there. The judge needs to see the victim. I'm not a victim, I told her. I'm a witness, and I've already testified. I went to work instead. I sat at my desk. I opened my actuarial tables. I calculated risk premiums for people who would probably live to be 90. At 10 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from Todd. Mom got 30 months. Dad got 18. I got probation and a $32,000 restitution bill. I hope you're happy. I looked at the screen. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel sad. I felt nothing. Just a quiet humming static. The kind of silence you hear in a soundproof room. 30 months. 2.5 years. My mother, Diane Nash, who cried. When the goldfish died, who volunteered at the church bake sale, who told me family shares everything, was going to a federal prison camp in West Virginia. My father, Carl Nash, the man who taught me to ride a bike, was going to Ohio. He got less time because he rolled over on her immediately. She handled the finances. I just signed. Coward. And Todd, my brother. He got probation, but he got the bill. $32,000. The exact cost of his tuition. He had to pay it back to the IRS. Karma isn't just a bitch, she's an accountant. She keeps the books balanced. The days after the sentencing were the strangest of my life. The war was over. The bombs had stopped falling. And now, I had to live in the rubble. My phone didn't ring. For 23 years, my mother had called me every Sunday at 11 p.m. Sharp, like clockwork. Sunday came. 11 p.m. Silence. 11:01 a.m. Silence. I sat on Cass's couch and stared at the wall. The silence was so loud it hurt my ears. I wanted her to call. I wanted her to scream at me. I wanted to hear her say it was my fault, one more time. But she couldn't. She was in a cell. I was free. So why did I feel like I was the one in prison? Cass found me like that 2 hours later, staring at a blank TV screen. You okay? She asked. It's quiet, I said. It's too quiet. You'll get used to it, she said. She sat down next to me. Want to order Thai food? Yeah, I said. Thai food is good. The real change came a month later. I was at work. It was a Tuesday. I was staring at a spreadsheet watching the numbers blur when my email dinged. Equifax, your credit report has been updated. My heart stopped. I hadn't checked in 2 weeks. I was too scared. What if they denied it? What if the debt was still there? I clicked the link. I logged in. I held my breath. Willa R. Nash, Social security number. Doc credit score, 680. I stared at the number. 680. I scrolled down. Accounts 3. Not 47. 3. A student loan I actually took out. A gas station card I opened last month. A secured credit card with a $500 limit. The rest? Gone. Nash Event Rentals, LLC. Gone. Chase credit card. Gone. Chevy Tahoe loan. Gone. Civil judgment. Vacated. I clicked on the Public Records tab. Bankruptcies, 0. Lines, 0. Judgments, 0. It was clean. It was white. It was empty. I started to laugh. It was a weird hiccuping sound. The guy in the cubicle next to me looked over. You okay, Nash? Yeah. I gasped. I'm good. I'm clean. I went home that night and I did something I'd never done before. I bought a bed. Not a mattress on the floor. A real bed frame. A queen-sized gray upholstered thing from Wayfair. It cost $350. I put it on my credit card. The real credit card. When it arrived, Cass and I hauled the boxes up the stairs. We built it in the middle of the living room. That night, I slept in a bed. I didn't wake up once. 2 weeks later, I got a letter. It wasn't from a lawyer. It wasn't from the FBI. It was from the Millbury School District, my old high school. I opened it. It was a transcript request. Dear Ms. Nash, per your request, please find enclosed your official high school transcript. I hadn't requested a transcript. I turned the page. There was a sticky note attached in blue ink. Willa, I found this in Mom's old files. I don't know why you want it, but here it is. Don't call me again. Todd. Inside the envelope was my transcript. A's and B's. Math team. Honor roll. And clipped to the back was a photocopy of a document I'd never seen. A birth certificate. My birth certificate. But it wasn't the one I kept in my filing cabinet. This one was different. Issued date, 2015. It had my name. My parents' names. But the birth weight was different, and the time of birth. I pulled up my real birth certificate on my phone. I compared them. They'd forged a birth certificate. Why? Then it hit me. The bank. When they opened the business account, they probably needed ID. And when they wanted to increase the credit limit on the credit cards, they needed ID. They used a fake birth certificate to pretend to be me. To go to the bank and say, "Hi, I'm Willa Nash, I need a loan." They didn't just steal my name, they stole my identity. They created a fake Willa Nash and sent her out into the world to ruin my life. I sat on my new bed and held the fake birth certificate. I should have been angry, but I just felt tired. They had spent 9 years building a fake life for me, a life of debt and crime. I spent 14 months tearing it down, and now I had to build the real one. The phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. I get a lot of spam calls now. Hello? Willa? It's Grandma Louise, my dad's mom. I hadn't heard her voice in 2 years. Hi, Grandma. I got your new address from Cass's mom. I hope that's okay. It's fine. I wanted to tell you. I went to see your mother. I went rigid. You did? I did. I told her she was a fool. I told her she broke the one rule of being a parent. What's that? You don't eat your young. You just don't. I closed my eyes. A single tear leaked out. Just one. Thank you, Grandma. I sent you a card. It's not much. Just a little something for the new apartment. You didn't have to do that. I know. Family shares everything, Willa. Even when they're idiots. We talked for 10 minutes. About the weather. About her hip. About nothing. When I hung up, I looked around my apartment. The bed. The desk. The filing cabinet in the corner. In the top drawer of the filing cabinet, I had a folder. manila tabbed. It had 3 things in it: the 47-page credit report, the original sin, the letter my mom sent from prison, the one I almost burned, the fake birth certificate Todd sent me. I opened the drawer. I took out the letter. I smoothed it on the bed. You destroyed us. No, Mom. You destroyed you. I just stopped you from taking me with you. I put the letter back. I closed the drawer. I walked to the kitchen. I opened the fridge. It was full. Milk, eggs, leftover Thai food, a 6-pack of beer, all bought with my name. All paid for by me. I grabbed a beer. I popped the top. The hiss sounded like freedom. It's been 1 year since I unlocked the door to my apartment. It's 5 days. 60 hours. People ask me all the time, Willa, how does it feel? Now that it's over? They expect me to say free. They expect me to say vindicated. They want a movie ending where I dance in the street while I Will Survive plays. But here's the thing about survival. It's quiet. My life isn't a party. It's a Tuesday. I wake up at 6:30. I make coffee. I sit on my own couch, the gray one I bought with my own credit card, and I check my credit score. It went up 2 points since last month. I used to check it every day. Now I check it once a week. It's like checking a scar. It's still there, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I have a routine. Work, gym, grocery shopping on Sundays, where I buy the good ice cream, not the generic stuff. I have a friend, Sarah, my cousin Sarah, who calls me sometimes. She filed her own police report 6 months ago. She found 2 credit cards. Not $34,000 worth of debt, but enough. Enough to know she wasn't crazy. Enough to know Aunt Diane didn't just eat me. She ate the whole family buffet. Sarah asked me last week, "Do you ever feel guilty?" I told her the truth. No. But I feel lonely. That's the part nobody tells you. When you burn your family to the ground, you don't get a parade. You get an empty lot. Thanksgiving was quiet. Cass's family took me in again. Her mom hugged me a little too long. Her dad asked me about football. It was boring. It was perfect. I didn't check my phone once. Christmas was harder. I went to see Grandma Louise. She's in assisted living now. We played gin rummy. She didn't ask about my mom. I didn't ask about my dad. We just played cards. On the way out, she squeezed my hand. "You're doing good, Willa. Don't let them haunt you. But ghosts are heavy. And my mom is a heavy ghost." 2 weeks ago, I got a letter. I knew the handwriting before I even picked it up. The curled W, the loop on the L Federal Correctional Institution, Alderson, West Virginia. My hands didn't shake this time. That's progress. I made tea. I sat at my kitchen table. I opened it. My dearest Willa. It's been a year. I have had a lot of time to think. My back hurts. The food is terrible. I have made mistakes. I know that now. But I was a mother first. I did what I had to do to keep us alive. Your father is useless. You know that. Todd is weak. I was the only one strong enough to do it. I'm up for parole in 6 months. The lawyer says, if I have a letter from you from my daughter saying you forgive me, it will help. It will show them I have family support. Willa, I am begging you. I am on my knees. Write the letter. Say you forgive me. Bring me home. Family shares everything, baby, even forgiveness. I read it 3 times. I looked for the I'm sorry. I looked for the I stole from you. I looked for the I ruined your 20s. It wasn't there. She didn't say, I'm sorry. She said, I'm in pain. She didn't say, forgive me. She said, get me out. I walked to the kitchen drawer, the junk drawer. I pulled out a lighter. I held the corner of the letter over the flame. The paper curled. The ink turned black. Family shares everything. No, Mom. You hoarded the love. You hoarded the money. You hoarded the secrets. You didn't share. You took. I dropped the burning letter in the sink. I watched it turn to ash. I turned on the garbage disposal. Grrr, chunk, gone. I didn't write the letter. I'm not going to. She can rot in there for all I care. Not out of anger, but out of nothing. Indifference is the opposite of love. It's not hate. Hate is still an emotion. Indifference is a void, and that's exactly what she left me with. A void I had to fill myself. Todd texts me sometimes. Mom is sick. Mom is sad. Mom says hi. I never reply. He's paying his $32,000 restitution. He's working 2 jobs. He's living the life I was supposed to have, the one where he pays for his own sins. Good. Last night I had a dream. I was 14 again. I was blowing out candles on a cake. My mom was there. My dad. Todd. They were all smiling. I made a wish. In the dream, I wished for a laptop. But when I woke up, I realized I already had one. I bought it myself. I'm a data analyst. I trace patterns. And here is the pattern I learned. You can't fix crazy. You can't fix greedy. You can't fix people who think you're an extension of them. You can only cut the cord. My credit score is 742. I have $4,000 in savings. I have a lease that's in my name only. I have silence. If you're listening to this and you have a Diane in your life, a parent, a sibling, a spouse, someone who says, "We're family, we share everything," right before they take something that isn't theirs. Run, don't walk. Run, check your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com. Do it right now, because $34,000 is a lot of debt, but your soul is worth more. My name is Willa Nash. I am 25 years old, and I am finally actually real. Thanks for listening. Hit subscribe if you're still here. Drop a comment. Tell me you checked your credit. I'll see you in the next one.